Hi, Gabriella. Hi, Anastasia. Are they on screen? I think they're ready. There they are. There'll be one after the other. Well, yeah, we are delighted to be signing this letter of commitment. And before we do that, I'd like to invite our partners, the UN Women, to say a few words. So I don't know who wants to kick off, if it's going to be Gabriella or Anastasia.
Yeah, hi everyone. We are delighted to represent UN Women today with the Sports Integrity Global Alliance and with all the distinguished partners. It's nice to be a part of the community of professionals who share the values of human rights and gender equality in the sports ecosystem. Our vision, the vision of UN Women, stands on the recognition of the unique potential and crucial capacity of sports to propel women's and girls' empowerment and combating all forms of discrimination and violence. Being a part of the global women's movement and apparently having emerged from the global women's movement in UN Women, we are delighted to observe how in recent years the audiences have demonstrated a rapidly growing interest to the women's in sports, to the human rights and equality in sports. We recognize and applaud the women's movement which achieved this result and which was instrumental and crucial around the world to achieving this result. Now we see female athletes having become legends and inspiring role models to both women and men globally. We are delighted to see that more and more multiple and diverse actors in sports ecosystem and outside of it have been making significant strides to drive change towards equality discrimination in the world of sports. We do applaud all of this and do believe that the full potential of sports as a driver for gender equality and human rights is yet to be harnessed, and its true potential is yet to be utilized. And this is why we're so delighted to team up with you to accept the Sports Integrity Global Alliance along with multiple partners around the world, revitalizing and inspiring the others with the commitment to promote gender equality in sports. So we appreciate your commitment to the implementation of sports for generation equality principles and signing up to this movement. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you, Anastasia. And it feels so strange doing a virtual shake of hands, but here we go. High five to Anastasia. Gabriella, do you want to say a few words as well? I actually met Gabriella through Daniela Castro, our COO of Siga Latin America, when we were both in Sao Paulo. So this is a 6-week relationship, and it is possible to sign something with the UN in that time. So there's not something so bureaucratic, but it's a letter of commitment. Gabriella, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Manuel, for this invitation. And I would like, first of all, to congratulate Siga and all its partners for putting together these important sessions, and for having invited UN Women to join as well. This is a pleasure to be here with all of you to discuss such an urgent topic in the sport agenda, as it is girls' and women's rights to participate and benefit from sports. So I'm going to give some details on our UN Women's efforts in this direction, okay? So data shows that during puberty, girls start facing new challenges that prevent them from fully enjoying their rights to sports. For example, during puberty, girls' self-confidence drops twice compared to boys. And because of that and other factors as well, we have in all over the world a dropout from sports of 50% of girls, which is 6 times more than boys, also during adolescence. So that's due especially for the lack of self-confidence, lack of support incentive for girls to play sports. We also face in the media lack of female athletes that are portrayed as role models to inspire other girls and women to also participate in sports. And the permanence in sports is limited by cases of sexual and moral harassment and abuse. Besides that, women and girls also face increasingly social pressures and control over their bodies. So adolescence is seen by UN Women together with the International Olympic Committee as a critical time to intervene and revert this cycle that prevent women from participating in sports. So in this sense, we have developed together with the IOC since 2015 the program One Win Leads to Another. It is a legacy of the Rio Olympic Games that uses sport as a tool for the promotion of gender equality and empowerment of girls and women, with the main objective of preventing and eliminating violence against them. The program is implemented in several marginalized communities and favelas of Rio de Janeiro, and aims mainly at preparing girls to act as agents of change in their own communities through a bottom-up approach. So the program has a solid methodology that has already been used in 30 countries around the world that combines sport practice sessions of 1 hour with workshops for life skills development of another hour twice a week, in which girls can develop skills related to leadership, self-esteem, knowledge about human rights and violence against women and girls, among other important topics. So here, sport is used as a playful tool to help girls assimilate the concepts addressed during the life skills workshop, right? So we have a regular curriculum that has a 9-month duration where girls, but we have also unfolded this curriculum in modules. And we have developed, for example, a violence against women and girls prevention module, and more recently, the anti-racism module, as most of the beneficiaries of the program are Black and young women. So as the Rio Olympic Games legacy, OLA has impacted over 2,000 girls from 30 marginalized territories and favelas in Rio de Janeiro. We have some, before applying the methodology, we administer baseline questionnaires, and then we assess it by the end of the intervention with underlying questionnaires. And we have observed, for example, besides many other impact in girls' lives, an increase of 60% of girls knowing how to report violence against women and girls, for instance. Also, besides the implementation in the territories of the methodology, OLA has also another line of action that is to engage key stakeholders to promote gender-responsive sport organizations. As data shows, for example, in Brazil, that only 6% of Brazilian national confederations, sport confederations, have women occupying presidency positions. OLA is now starting these conversations with sport organizations and engagement to offer technical support to help these organizations mainstreaming gender across its policies and mainly governance models through methodology and toolkits that have been tested worldwide. OLA also works, and UN Women, of course, also works closely with the media, as data shows that, in average, only 5% of the sport media coverage is targeted at female categories. So that's why OLA invests in building campaigns to encourage more women and girls into sports and to eliminate negative gender stereotypes and biases within the sport media coverage. And also we have some of our athletes that act as role models for OLA and to spread messages of gender equality through sports and in sports. We're gonna watch briefly a video with our good Marta, our Goodwill ambassador. We have other really famous and role models that also inspire our girls. So before the video, I just want to wrap up, informing that OLA is now the second phase of the program came to an end in May 2022. And UN Women has launched now a call to action to bring new partners from around the globe to join forces to promote this huge movement, world movement, to promote girls and women's rights to sport in a level playing field. So given its evidence-based effectiveness, OLA will be scaled up both nationally to other Brazilian states and municipalities, and also internationally, initially to Southeast Asia and the Pacific. So this is the importance, this call to action, one of the first engagement that we have, and we are really proud and happy to have Siga on board, is to sign the Sport for Generation Equality commitment letter right after we watch this brief video with our Goodwill Ambassador, Marta.
Thanks, Gabriela. I think we're going to watch the video.
Eu vi a Marta jogando e eu queria ser como ela. Jogar como ela. Não foi nada fácil. O jeito foi aprender tudo pela internet, sozinha mesmo. Os meninos do meu bairro nem me deixavam entrar em campo. Aí já viu, né? Qualquer lugar virava um estádio. Mas depois não precisei improvisar. Achei o meu lugar. Aqui me aliei a outras meninas e percebi o quanto precisamos uma das outras, dentro e fora dos gramados. Sou feita de sonhos e vou me tornar técnica de futebol para não deixar nenhuma mulher sozinha.
Thank you. And Emmanuel was translating it for me, but basically she found her place in the sports playing field. I'd like to introduce Emmanuel. You know who he is by now. He's my male ally, and invite him to say a few words before we sign the letter of commitment.
Thank you. Thank you. I have found my place. That's what she said. And until every woman from every country, from every social background, from every race, from every gender, from every belief, have found her or his place in sport, we cannot be truly proud of this sector. And we cannot stay silent. And we cannot lower our arms. And we cannot turn a blind eye. We cannot pretend that this is not, in plain 21st century, a reality, a stigma, a source of discrimination and injustice. I cannot be proud of a sport who only confers a few seats around the table when it comes to decision-making bodies. I cannot be proud of a sport that I have dedicated most of my life to when I see that on the big yellow nail chairs of the big international federations or leagues or whatever, there is only 17.8% of women. There is something wrong with this. And it must be addressed. Because sport cannot live crystallized in 17th century or 19th century. Sport must evolve. And it must lead by example. We have been saying this. But actions speak louder than words. Powerful testimonies have been professed here. Shining examples of leadership, regardless of gender, have been shared here. So why do we still? Why are we handcuffed on these prejudice, this discrimination, these barriers, and only 17.8% can assume their legitimate responsibilities at the top table where real decisions are made? And I'm not talking about participation. Participation is one thing, as athletes, as coaches, as psychologists, as lawyers, etc. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about power. Real power where decisions are made. Look around. How can we accept tokenism in 2022 after this devastating global pandemic? How long are we going to accept excuses? How long are you going to accept this? So yes, pick your side, because you are needed in this fight. And you will be judged not by what you proclaim, but what you do, what you're prepared to do, by our actions. What we have done at Siga is just a small, tiny effort. A small, tiny progress of what we can do with you by our side. With your strength, with your incentive, with your encouragement, with your call for action. And I could be talking about women empowerment or female leadership, as I can be talking about any other critical factor that we have addressed here. So it is a call for arms. It is a call for action. And the time is now. Katie mentioned, and she was right. We changed our constitution to show that we mean business. We could not be here advocating equal opportunities for all genders, all races, all social backgrounds if we were not prepared to give the example. So yes, we changed our constitution. And yes, we are proud to have gender parity within our council. As we are proud of having the same principle in the Siga Youth Council. Because they are the ones who will continue this journey. They are the ones who will continue this fight. They are the ones who will bring in others. They are the ones who will make the difference. So yes, this is the moment. And the Siga woman, which is an idea whose time had to come. An idea that is fueled and fed and nurtured and inspired by each of the women, and yes, male champions, when we have many in this room and out there, who are dedicated to do their best so that we can play, we can govern, we can exert our activity in a sector that we can be truly proud of. And until we reduce this gap, you can be certain that I will not rest. I will not stand still. I will not be silent. And everyone who listens to me knows that I'm in business. So this is the moment. The support of the United Nations, being the global leader that it is extremely important. Extremely important. And this is a huge, serious responsibility that we undertake, and we are prepared to be accounted for and judged for. Not what we sign, but what we will deliver. Not by what we say here in today, but what we will do tomorrow and the day after. Because it is the right thing to do. And if not now, when? If not us, who? So let's get this done, because we have to keep up with the pace of change, and we have to deserve the trust that our sons, our daughters, and our community expects from us. That is all I want to say, and I want to pay tribute also to Katie and all those who have supported her in the global female leadership program. It's something that I am very proud of. I have said more than I wanted. And when I first provoked and instigated Katie to lead the way on female leadership in sport, I said, I will be the last guy in the last row. I will be silent. I will not say anything. But you know what? I'm a Zorian. And we Azorians cannot stand still. So I'm sorry for that. But keep on doing the great job you are doing. And thanks to all of you for supporting.
Shall we get it done then?
Oh, yeah.
This is just the first step, the letter of commitment to a longer-standing relationship with UN Women, and we look forward to working with Gabriela and Anastasia, and they're going to join our global mentorship program as well, and we're going to roll it out in Brazil so that it's in Portuguese and that it's not just in English, and then other versions will be planned throughout the world. Good to see you.
Daniela is the Chief Operating Officer of Siga Latin America. She has done a lot for sport in Central America, in Latin America, and she will be doing a lot more in the future. Thanks for joining us. This is yours.
Thank you. Excellent.
Results from this, we expect great results from this moment. That was inspirational for me and hopefully to all of us.